Shabbat Shalom, Mashpuka. I pray all is well with everyone. I want everyone to understand that if it was not for the Most High, you would not be able to hear the message that you hear from this channel. In no way can I come up with this stuff. It is from the Most High. Make sure everyone understands that. And he gets all yada for the videos, for all the messages that come out on this channel. I just be used by him as an instrument and an instrument only. Okay, I was working on our Shabbat lesson. And when the Most High had me working on something, I'm in the scriptures, I'm pulling out what he wants. And then he just starts showing me things. And he starts showing me things. And I be all over the place, honestly. I be all over the place. I'm writing notes here. I'm writing notes here. I'm putting notes over here. And usually 3, 4, 5, 6 different things at one time. And this is how he works with me on those particular times. It doesn't always happen, but when it happens, I love it. Because I know he is showing me this. He's showing me that. He's showing me what he wants me to see. So I was working on the Shabbat class lesson. And we've been talking about the tabernacle, the Kadash things in the house. And when we got to the part where they're ready to set up the tabernacle, and I read the tent peg, I read the fastening of the curtain walls of the tabernacle, and I paused, and I zeroed in on the tent peg. That's what the Most High had me to do. I zeroed in on the tent peg, and I started thinking about the letter. This is one of the controversial Aubrey letters in the Most High's name, the Yud. I thought about the letter. I thought about what it meant. You know, this is the tent peg. This is the nail. I'm thinking about what it means. And then the Most High gave it to me. Remove this tent peg. And I had to write that down. Remove this tent peg. So I wrote it down. Now let's go into this. You see here, this is a modern day tent peg, and you can see there's the U. But you know, our people that's following Jewish tradition, they want to put a W in the Most High's name, and they want to go back and forth when you can clearly take them to any encyclopedia, you can take them to a Jewish website, show them modern day Hebrew. This is what they call it. The Jewish people call it Hebrew. See, when these people calling Hebrew, they following, once again, Jewish tradition. As I mentioned in the last video. You know, be on guard. Be on guard against these things. They're following Jewish traditions. You will clearly see the letter W and the letter V. Interchangeable. This is what they use. But that's not the ancient. And these people will tell you this is the ancient. So we can see the modern day tent peg looking like the U. Now here is the letter. Here it is here. And this is what it means. I just want you to get the meaning of it. You see what they call in the modern day Wa. And this is what it looks like modern day. This is the picture. Still looking like a tent peg. And here's paleo. You see the hook, the U, this is the part that goes into the ground. Nail, peg, add, hook. It's a hook. And the sound, of course, is ooh, not wah. See, this is correct. This is correct. The wah is modern day. They say wah now. This is correct here. Ooh, as in pool, or as in two, or as in boo, yahoo. You see, this is something very, very simple and easy, and our people just miss it. So, I knew what the Most High wanted me to do. And that's what I aim to do. We have people today, righteous people, righteous men and women. You have a righteous man with a wicked woman. You have a righteous woman with a wicked man. This is what we have going on today. We married these people not knowing the Most High. We married these people not knowing any better. We married these people in Christianity. We've married these people for many wrong reasons. And some of us, like myself, I was barak to be married to one that's open to the Most High, that love the Most High, that say, yeah, this is what the scripture says. Yeah, we have to go with it. See, there's a few of us. You see, my wife could have flipped the script. I could have flipped the script on her. This thing goes both ways. But what happens when one flipped the script? What happens when the wife is righteous and the husband is wicked? What happens when the husband is righteous and the wife is wicked? Some of the men, and you know, I have to say this. We're in these situations because of what we decided to do, and it was outside the Most High. Now the question is, how do we get out of this? What are we to do? How can we get out of this? Because darkness and light does not mix. The Most High meant for darkness, be with dark, marry darkness. Light, children of light, marry children of light. We're not supposed to marry the other. So what happens? We wake up. The Most High visit us. He didn't visit our spouse. And so he visited us. Our spouse didn't get visited. Now, one is righteous and the other is wicked. What are we to do? Joshua 21:22-48. This is dealing with Abraham. Many of us know the story. This is where it comes from. And in some time after, Abraham said to his wife, I will go and see my son Ishmael. Abraham loved Ishmael. They sent them off. They were away from them. So he would go visit him when he missed him. For I have a desire to see him. Abraham loved Ishmael. For I have not seen him for a long time. That's what he told his wife. And Abraham rode upon one of his camels to the wilderness to seek his son Ishmael. For he heard that he was dwelling in a tent. Here he go in the tent. Dwelling in the tent. So we understand our people back in the day, we had to dwell in tents. We know the ones that go in the wilderness, we have to dwell in tents. We're going to need tent peg to hold these tents down. We need something strong to hold it down to the ground. It's an anchor. It's supposed to be strong. That tent peg is supposed to be strong. It's supposed to support and hold something in place. Hold something tight. Keep the wind from blowing it away. Dwelling in the tent in the wilderness with all belonging to him. And Abraham went to the wilderness and he reached the tent of Ishmael by noon. And he asked after Ishmael, and he found the wife of Ishmael sitting in the tent with her children. Watch this. And Ishmael, her husband, and his mother were not with them. So it's just the wife and the children. And Abraham asked the wife of Ishmael, saying, where has Ishmael gone? Now, this wife does not know Abraham. Key points here. She does not know Abraham. She doesn't know this is Ishmael's father. Nevertheless, and she said, he is gone to the field to hunt. And Abraham was still mounted upon his camel, for he would not get off to the ground, because he had told his wife Sarah that he would not get off the camel. I'm not going to be gone long. I just want to see him. I just want to speak to him. I'm not going to sit down and eat and all of this other stuff. I'm going to be in and be out. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, my daughter. That was a hint. He called her my daughter. Give me a little water that I may drink, for I am fatigued from the journey. He's asking for a little bit of water. Give me a little, just a little bit of water. You're going to see our people here too. I see our people in this. Ask for a little bit of water to drink, for I am fatigued of my journey. Remember, this is a stranger to this. This is a stranger to Ishmael's wife. She doesn't know this man. Of course, he's an older man. He's an aged man. And Ishmael's wife answered and said to Abraham, we have neither water nor bread. That's a lie. We have neither water or bread. And she could wonder in her mind, what we have is for us. I can't help you. And she continued sitting in the tent and did not notice it was Abraham. You see that? She didn't know. Neither did she ask him who he was. She wasn't even concerned. Who are you? Asking for my husband. Didn't even ask about it. But she was beating her children in the tent, and she was cursing them. You see? Beating them and cursing them. We see our people today beating people up with the scripture and cursing them out. They think this is righteousness. They fit right in line with this woman here. And she also cursed her husband, Ishmael, and reproached him. You know how these evil women do. They're angry at the man because you're the one, this is your seed. If it wasn't for you, then these children wouldn't be bad. And Abraham heard the words of Ishmael's wife, for her children, and he was very angry and displeased. If Abraham was to walk into a husband and wife relationship today, would he be pleased? Or would he be very angry at what he see and how the husband and the wife treat their children? Would he be angry? Would he be displeased? Or would he be pleased? And Abraham called to the woman to come out to him from the tent. Come out, come here. And the woman came and stood opposite of Abraham. Abraham was still mounted on the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, when your husband Ishmael return home, say these words to him. Here we go. When Ishmael get home, say these words to him. There is something I want you to say to him. Say these words to him. A very old man. Pay attention to verse 31. A very old man from the land of Philistine came here to seek you. And thus was his appearance and his figure. So describe what he looks like. This is what he looked like. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing you was not here, he spoken to me and said, when Ishmael, your husband, returned, tell him this. This did the man say. When you come home, put away this nail. Put away this tent peg. Remove this tent peg. He says, when your husband come home, tell him, put away this tent peg. Remember, this peg is to be fastened to make the place strong so the wind don't blow it away. Put away this tent peg which you have placed here. You placed this tent peg here. You put it away and place another nail in its stead. Replace it with another tent peg. This is what he said. What in the world? What message is she giving to Ishmael, her husband? And will Ishmael understand his father Abraham? Can Ishmael understand this manner of language? And Abraham finished his instructions to the woman, and he turned and went off on the camel homeward. And after that, Ishmael came from the chase. He and his mother returned to the tent, and his wife spoke these words to him. She did what he said. A very old man from the land of Philistine came to seek you, and thus was his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing you was not home, he said to me, when your husband come home, tell him this. And the old man said, put away the nail, put away the tent peg, remove this tent peg. That's what Abraham was saying. Remove this tent peg, which you have placed here, and replace it with another tent peg in its place. This is what this was the message. And Ishmael heard the words of his wife. And he knew, Ishmael knew the Most High. And he knew that it was from his father. But you see, he knew his father's voice. But this woman didn't know his father's voice. She didn't know the voice of that one. And that his wife did not honor him. He knew this wife didn't honor him. And Ishmael understood his father's words. And he had spoken to his wife. And Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father. Wait a minute. Hold up. He knew and he hearkened unto the voice of his father. And Ishmael cast off the woman, and she went away. This tent peg, remove this tent peg, was talking about removing this woman because she dishonored Abraham. Amazing.